Hi everyone, it's me, and this is another one of my relaxing calm videos designed especially for people who suffer from anxiety and stress. Some of you have told me in the comments that these videos really help when you feel nervous, or when you need to go to sleep but call you in because your mind is overthinking everything. So I wanted to make a special one for those of you who feel more nervous than normal right now. As I'm recording this, there are some sounds in the background which normally I would include in a video like this, but they re-part of the experience today. There is construction going on nearby, and also I can hear planes flying overhead. My attention is undrawn to those noises, and so I'm not getting upset or frustrated by them. If someone were to tap on the glass right now, you might jump and be startled by it. And this really resonated with me. I remember thinking, wow, I had never thought of it like that before. It just never occurred to me that I could focus my attention on something pleasant instead of something unpleasant. But if you know that someone's coming before they tap on a glass, you won't be startled. When I'm at home, I might focus on the sunlight streaming through the window. You're fully present in the moment, and your awareness is anchored to something pleasant. Or when I'm outside, I might focus on the blue sky above me. And when I do this, I notice that the rest of the world does seem to disappear. You might still be aware of them, but they're no longer grabbing your attention. Some people say they enter a deep state of peace, or others say they feel completely relaxed. Many people even report feeling sleepy after meditating. Because when we focus our attention on something pleasant, our bodies naturally want to relax into that state. In this case, I'm going to focus on the sunlight. It's about learning to redirect your attention to something more pleasant. So if you're struggling to focus on something pleasant, here's what I want you to do. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Then bring your attention to your breath. Simply notice the sensation of breathing in and out. The body knows how to heal itself and the mind knows how to keep us safe. But sometimes we get in the way of this process. But now I just automatically do it. I notice the colors and textures of the food and I appreciate its aroma. I really enjoy the experience of eating. And when we're in this state of stress, it's very difficult to heal or to feel safe. So now when I sit down to eat, my body naturally relaxes into the experience. You can learn to redirect your attention to something more pleasant. And the more you practice, the easier it will become. Do this for just 5 minutes. And if you find yourself getting distracted, just keep bringing your attention back to your breath without judgment. Now, I love walking outside and just noticing all the beautiful things around me. But it wasn't always like this. You'll be able to fully relax your body and calm your mind. What if everything reminds me of something unpleasant? Well, that's where your imagination comes in. The world is simply a mirror reflecting back what's inside of you. And if you did, please consider subscribing to my channel. So if you want to experience more peace and happiness in your life, start by anchoring your attention to something pleasant. When I first started practicing bringing my attention to something pleasant, I had to actively tell myself to notice the trees and the sky and the birds. But now, it's second nature. I don't have to think about it at all. It's almost like your body and mind go on strike and refuse to do what you ask them to do. You can choose to feel calm and relaxed. You have the power to choose how you feel. And when you practice this, you'll get better and better at it. Notice how the sunlight feels as it hits your skin. Maybe it feels warm or cool. Maybe you can feel the light pressure of the sun on your body. For example, you can imagine yourself on a tropical island, relaxing on the beach, soaking up the warm sunshine, listening to the gentle sound of the waves crashing into the shore. You can imagine the feeling of the soft sand between your toes and the sound of the palm trees swaying in the breeze. I'm fully present in the moment, and I can feel myself relaxing into my body. Your mind will already be focused on what's about to happen, and so you won't be freaked out by it. These are the kind of sounds you might hear if you were outside right now. But as you'll see, they don't really bother me at all. Let's bring our awareness to the physical sensations in the body. Notice the feeling of your body weight resting on the chair or on the bed. Notice the feeling of your feet on the ground or on the surface beneath you. Notice the feeling of your body as it is right now, whether you're lying down or sitting up. Just notice the feeling of being in this position. Our minds are always working in the background and always thinking something, but we only become aware of those thoughts when our attention is drawn to them. Normally when I walk through the mall, I don't notice the individual tiles on the floor. But if I start focusing on them, then all I notice is the tiles. This applies to everything in life. We only really notice things when we pay attention to them. There's construction happening right now, and also I can hear planes flying overhead. I'm actually going to focus on the planes flying overhead. Whenever you hear a plane, just notice the sound of it as it flies over you. Don't try to identify the plane or think about where it's coming from or going to. Just notice the sound itself as you hear it. Why is that? Well, I'm not focused on them. If we think of our thoughts like a spotlight, then whatever our attention is drawn to, that's where our focus will be. He was talking about how when he goes for a walk in nature, he doesn't just walk aimlessly. Instead, he focuses his attention on the trees to really appreciate their beauty. After he realized he could just focus on the trees and nothing else, he noticed that the rest of the world seemed to disappear. It was just him and the trees. Here's an example. I remember in university when one of my professors said something that really impacted me. He then went on to explain that when we focus our attention on something, that's where our consciousness goes. And so I started practicing focusing my attention on pleasant things. And this is the same state that you enter when you meditate. So I want to invite you to try this exercise with me right now. We're going to practice bringing our attention to something pleasant in the environment. Now, if you're anything like me, then you might notice that other sensations in the environment are kind of fading away a little bit. Next, we're going to bring our attention to the sound in the environment. If you're able to do this, you might notice that the other sounds in the environment, like the construction, fade away a little bit and your focus narrows to just the planes as they fly over you. This is exactly the same state that many people report they enter when they meditate. What I've learned over the years is that the human body and mind are incredibly powerful and wise. When we focus our attention on something unpleasant, we put ourselves in a state of stress. So many people come to meditation looking for relief from anxiety and stress, and they find it because this is exactly what meditation is all about. For some people, this is easy, and for others, it's very challenging. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to your breath. And I promise you this, if you can do this consistently, you'll soon find yourself entering this state much easier. Not only when you meditate, but also when you're out in the world. Because here's the thing. The more we practice anchoring our attention to something pleasant, the better we get at doing it. It becomes second nature. Here's an example. When I sit down to eat a meal, I used to spend a lot of time thinking about how good the food is going to taste. And this is because I've practiced bringing my attention to something pleasant many times before. Same thing when I go for a walk. And this is the same thing that you can learn to do. Some of you might be thinking, well, what if there's nothing pleasant in the environment? You can imagine something pleasant. And if you imagine this often enough, then eventually you'll be able to access this feeling whenever you want. Here's the truth. You don't have to feel anxious or stressed. Remember, you are the creator of your experience. And with that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful.